way, yesterday, Ezekiel Elliott was balling. Let's not take anything away from him. He wasn't giving the ball enough. He averaged nearly 5 yards a carry. You're the Dallas Cowboys. How come you didn't give him the ball more? You see, these are the things that leave me flabbergasted as to why Jason Garrett is still a head coach. You repeatedly underachieve. You look at the Dallas Cowboys roster as a roster in its entirety. The Indianapolis Colts do not have a better roster than the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys from top to bottom are younger and they're more talented than the Indianapolis Colts. But somehow, some way, they get shut out 23-0. 23-0. That is just inexcusable. Now, granted, there was a missed field goal. And twice early on, the Dallas Cowboys were in Indianapolis territory. And twice they came away with nothing. A missed field goal, one situation. Another situation, Jason Garrett inexplicably doesn't go for the 3 points and gives the momentum to the Indianapolis Colts because you went for it on a 4th and 1, like 1.5 yard line. What the hell are you doing? Why wouldn't you just put the points on the board and not surrender momentum to the Indianapolis Colts? I thought that was foolish on his part. But that's beside the point, because what we're doing now is we're going to look at the Dallas Cowboys and we're going to talk about the Indianapolis Colts. Well, they just looked like the better team. Well, yeah, they did. Andrew Luck looks sensational. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Not yesterday. 16-27, 192 yards. That's relatively pedestrian. Andrew Luck came into the game averaging 40 passes a game. He threw the ball about 27 times yesterday. The Indianapolis Colts came into the game averaging 25 carries per game, 25 rushes per game. They ran the ball 39 times. 27 of those carries went to Marlon Mack. This dude had 139 yards rushing, 5.1 yards a carry, ran all over the Dallas Cowboys. His longest run was 21 yards. So this wasn't some one big run and then after that he got neutralized. No, he was chopping the Dallas Cowboys down all afternoon long because the Dallas Cowboys were getting beat up at the line of scrimmage. Plain and simple. This kid, Quentin Nelson, your left guard for the Indianapolis Colts, is something special. I'm here to tell y'all that right now. This kid is something special. If you don't know, you better ask somebody. This kid is something special. Andrew Luck is being protected. He's also being protected because they're trying to exercise some semblance of a running game. Yesterday, it worked to perfection. He was handling the ball off one play after another. They were moving the chains. They were chewing up the clock. I was watching this unfold. I couldn't believe it. And it just found me saying to myself, you know something? Indianapolis Colts are no joke. They could be a legitimate threat in the AFC if they get there and they're able to upend the Houston Texans, or dare I say, steal a wild card spot. It remains to be seen what will happen. They're battling with the Baltimore. They're battling with the Baltimore Ravens. I got to look at them and say, hey, I can't ignore this picture right now. Chargers got the 5th seed locked up, assuming they don't win the AFC West. And if it's not them, it's probably going to be the Kansas City Chiefs. So that 6th spot that you're talking about. Miami gets blitzed yesterday. They're on the outside looking in. You got Baltimore and Indianapolis battling for it. Now that Indianapolis has won 7 of its last 8. And if you're the Dallas Cowboys, here's what makes it so much more inexcusable. Everybody's like, what did the Colts do? Why were they able to neutralize the Dallas Cowboys so much? It's very, very simple, ladies and gentlemen. Frank Wright, the head coach for the Indianapolis Colts. He was an offensive coordinator where last year? Philadelphia Eagles, reigning defending Super Bowl champions. He was their offensive coordinator. You think he's not familiar with Cowboys? I think he is. He was there as the offensive coordinator for a couple of years. I think he's very familiar with the Dallas Cowboys. His defensive coordinator, Matt Eberflus. Eberflus. If I messed up the pronunciation of your name, sir, my apologies. Eberflus, the defensive coordinator. Where was he? The previous 7 or 8 years. You know where he was, ladies and gentlemen? He was the linebackers coach in Dallas. Vast majority of the latter years under Rod Marinelli, the defensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys. He kind of knows what they like to do. So you got a defensive coordinator familiar with the Dallas Cowboys. You got a head coach who was an offensive coordinator familiar with the Dallas Cowboys. This is what you walked into yesterday's game with if you were the Indianapolis Colts. How in the hell did the Dallas Cowboys miss that? How did they miss that? I got to tell y'all, that's just not good. That is just simply pathetic. And the way I look at it, there's no excuse for it. You got to know better. And these are the kind of games that Jason Garrett has religiously messed up. Yes, they'll be competitive. Yes, they'll fight you. They don't always get blown out. They damn sure don't get shut out. But in the end, what can go wrong usually does go wrong. And the Dallas Cowboys rarely deviate from that, which is why they lost yesterday's game. And so now what we have is the potential of Christmas arriving early for me, ladies and gentlemen. Here's why. The Dallas Cowboys, because the Philadelphia Eagles upset the Los Angeles Rams last night, because the Washington Redskins won, we have a situation right now, ladies and gentlemen, where the Dallas Cowboys, with games against Tampa at home and on a New York and the season finale at the New York Giants. Let me tell you what the scenario is, and which is why it's a beautiful, beautiful thing for me personally. Dallas Cowboys got to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this weekend. Now they'll be favored to, and they should. After all, a defense that horrid, combined with Jameis Winston and his haphazard self being at the quarterback spot for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Dallas Cowboys should win next week against Jameis Winston and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Ladies and gentlemen, they don't get this done, and the Eagles and Redskins win again, the Dallas Cowboys will find themselves going to East Rutherford, New Jersey, for the season finale against the New York Giants. I promise you Odell Beckham Jr. will be back for that game. I promise you Eli Manning will likely be quarterbacking that game. I promise you the New York Giants would be more than happy to ruin everything for the Dallas Cowboys, and they would be up and ready for that game to somewhat salvage their season, especially after sticking up the joint by getting shut out yesterday by Tennessee. Oh, by the way, the Washington Redskins, their last two games are against Tennessee and Philadelphia. So guess what? If Philadelphia and Washington win next week, since they play each other in the season finale, barring a tie, in all likelihood, one of them has to win. And if the Dallas Cowboys were to lose all of these games, if they were to lose their final two games against Tampa and New York Giants, which would mean their last three games since they lost yesterday to the Indianapolis Colts, they'd lose out. Oh, would that be beautiful? A collapse by the Dallas Cowboys to end the season. A collapse where they lose to Indy, where they lose to Tampa, where they lose to the New York Giants. That would be absolutely hysterical. I don't think I'd be able to do the show. I'd be laughing so hard. I don't think I'd be able to do the show. I'd be laughing that hard. So because the Eagles and the Redskins played in the season finale against each other, and they both play winnable games next week. Redskins at Tennessee, despite having Josh Johnson as your quarterback. Eagles at home against Houston. If they win that game, if both the Eagles and Redskins win next week, and the Cowboys lose, the Cowboys will come to East Rutherford, New Jersey for the season finale in a must-win situation. Oh, my Lord. That would be something special. I'd be laughing all week long. Because we know how the Dallas Cowboys do under pressure, don't we? We know that, don't we? They're great when they're playing with house money. But when they're under pressure, oh. If pressure breaks pipes, pressure breaks Dallas Cowboys. It's just how it goes. 888-SAY-ESPN. It's 888-729-3776. That was Straight Talk Wireless. Nationwide coverage in America's largest and most dependable 4G LTE networks. We'll talk more about Week 14 of the NFL season. Philadelphia Eagles upsetting the Rams. Chicago Bears winning. A couple of AFC action going on. Continue talking about Patriots, Steelers, Ravens with Lamar Jackson. Colts with Andrew Luck. Houston Texans winning on Saturday against the pathetic Jets. New York Giants, even more pathetic as far as I'm concerned, getting shut out. All of that and more. Get into Aaron Rodgers losing yesterday to the Bears. All of that and more touch on right here with Stephen A. ESPN Radio. By the way, when was the last time you checked your credit scores? Know what they are now, not from a year ago.